You's a vegan, but you going ham. Yeah.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Pretty Brown Vegan. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you are new here, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning back in with me. Today's video, I will be showing you guys how I prepare my vegan teriyaki wings. I do these using both tofu and cauliflower, so you'll get a 2-for-1 in this video today. So go ahead and watch it from start to finish so you'll see both methods. If you are not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future uploads. Let's get into it. So for the tofu, you will need a firm or extra firm blocks. I'm using 2 blocks here, which I actually doubled the recipe. Those measurements are down in that description box below. But if you guys just want to do, 1 block, then just follow the measurements as is. And then you just need to go ahead and get this broken down into some bite-sized pieces. You can cut them into even squares or break them up into chunks, whatever you prefer. Alright, so once you get those tofu blocks broken down, you're going to start making the breading. So you'll need some flour, salt, and pepper. You can use whatever flour of your choice. I'm using all-purpose flour, but you can use spelt flour. You can use any kind of flour that you like. And then to coat them, before I toss them in that flour, I will be using some vegan egg, and I use the Just Egg brand here. And so all you really need to do to go ahead and get these breaded is dip them first in the egg and then shake them up in the flour, and repeat that for every piece that you've made, and then we'll get ready for frying. So you guys can just watch me do this, and then we'll get to the frying next. And then once you have all of those breaded, we are gonna go ahead and get these fried. I'm using some grapeseed oil here. So just go ahead and heat you some grapeseed oil up and then place them directly into the oil. As far as the time limit on these, you really just fry them until they're golden brown on all sides. You'll see that once they're brown on the top and the back sides, I'll flip them on their sides as well, just so that all of the sides can get that crispy outer edge. All right, so those are getting nice and golden. As you can see, they kind of are reminiscent of chicken nuggets. I do love to have these as chicken nuggets just in general. So if you're looking for a kid-friendly treat or just a little snack that you can make, you can go ahead and prepare them as is and have them just with like some ketchup or some mustard or something like that. And if you guys are gonna go for them for just chicken nuggets, then with the breading, I would just add in a few more spices like some crushed red pepper, some cayenne, maybe some garlic powder, some onion powder, something like that in that breading. All right, and then once you have that chicken nice and golden, we're gonna get working on our sauce. For the sauce, you will need some dry wine. You can use red or white, whatever type of dry wine you have on hand. Some soy sauce, as well as some agave, and you're gonna go ahead and get that well heated before adding in your ginger and your garlic. And then just go ahead and keep working that sauce down. It will start to slightly thicken and reduce. And once it starts to do that, then we're going to add in our pieces of tofu bites in there and get them coated in the sauce before popping them into a preheated oven. The oven step is totally optional, but I think it just kind of cements in the sauce and the flavor into the breading. So you're just going to go ahead and give them a nice toss. And then I put them on a roasting pan and put them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes or so. Again, the full recipe details are in the description box below, but you just go ahead and pop that in the oven, and then once it comes out of the oven, I add in remaining sauce that I still have reserved on the side back on top to give them that juicy exterior. You guys will see here, this portion of the recipe was super duper easy. You didn't have to do too much. You just need your tofu, break it down, bread it up, and toss it in this delicious homemade sauce. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop that in the oven, as you guys will see, and when I pull it out, you guys will see the end result. You guys can optionally top these with some sesame seeds, or you can have them as is, but that is pretty much it for the tofu portion of this recipe. Please keep watching if you're interested in finding out how to make the same recipe with cauliflower. The steps are just slightly different, so you guys will see that coming up here next.
Everything about you, your smile, your style is so fly. I can't deny, I got a crush on you, and that's true indeed. And I'm digging you, you make me believe that your love is one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling. All day long, your love is one in a million. It goes on and on. You give me a really good feeling. All day.
And I could not find my brush for some reason, so instead of brushing the sauce back on top, I just poured it on. But if you have a brush, I recommend you just brushing that sauce back on top. It's so delicious, and it still kept that crispy exterior that we got from when we fried them. For our cauliflower, it's pretty much the same process, but it's a little bit more simple. I like to pour all of the ingredients directly on top of the cauliflower itself. I'm using 1 head of cauliflower here, which, you know, it's either that 1 block of tofu or the 1 head of cauliflower, or, you know, you can use 2 heads and double those ingredients. So just go ahead and toss that up in the vegan egg, and then we're going to toss in the flour, the salt, and the pepper directly into the bowl. Same ingredients as we did with the tofu, and then just go ahead and toss it all up directly before frying.
Brooklyn Bay, where they birthed me at. Now be everywhere, the nerve around. The audacity to have me with the curtains back. Me and B, she about to sting, stand back.
Seem like everywhere I go, I see you. From your eyes, a smile, it's like I breathe you.
All right, and then we're gonna go ahead and heat this up also in grapeseed oil. You guys, if you guys are not wanting to use some oil, fry it over the stove, you can also place this in the air fryer as well if you prefer. Once you get it breaded, pop it in the air fryer, pull it out, toss it in the sauce there, and then pop it back into the air fryer. And that's how you can make these with no oil. So if that's something that you guys are looking to do, that's also an option that you have with this recipe as well. The cauliflower may be a little bit more tedious in the frying. You may have to flip it a couple different ways because they're such odd shapes, but you want to make sure that each side of it is very nice and golden brown.
So unusual, baby girl, you should already know it's H-O. Light up the strobe, cause you gon' need help, try to study my bounce flow. What's the difference when you taking pain while the other you sniffing is dope? Try to convict them, that's a no-go. My dough keep the scales tipping like foe. Like I'm from the H-O-U-S-T-O. In blow, win. So Chicago of him, is he the best ever? That's the argument. I don't make the list, don't be mad at me. I just make the hits like a factory. I'm just one-to-one, nothing after me. No deja vu, just me and my
Okay, so once you get those cauliflower pieces done and you take them off of the heat and put them on a paper towel, go ahead and prepare your sauce. This time I decided to go ahead and put my garlic and my ginger into the dry wine while it reduces, just to see if some of that ginger and garlic can absorb some of that wine flavor a little bit better. And then I went ahead and deglaze the pan with the soy sauce and then added in the agave last. So, you know, you can play with this recipe as well, because last time I put the wine, then the soy, then the agave, and then my garlic and ginger. But this time I really wanted to see if the garlic and the ginger could absorb a little bit more of that flavor. So I went ahead and prepared it that way. It was so yummy. Personally, the cauliflower was my favorite option. I just believe that it absorbed up the flavors here a little bit better than the tofu, but the tofu is a more heartier option. I feel like I was a lot more full off of that option, and I was fuller longer. So that's completely a preference and up to you. All right, and then just go ahead and get these tossed up in the sauce here and keep the heat on while you're doing this as well, so that the sauce continues to reduce down, and slowly just pour it over each piece. And then you can also put these into the oven as well, but instead of a roasting pan for these, I put them on a baking sheet just to the cauliflower pieces are a bit smaller, so I went ahead and put them on the baking sheet instead so that they wouldn't fall through that roasting pan. And I also lined the baking sheet with some wax paper so that they wouldn't stick. And I only roasted these in the oven for about 10 minutes or so. So that's pretty much it, guys. This was super bomb. I love both of the options, but again, like I said, the cauliflower is my favorite option. I just feel like it just absorbed that flavor. Okay, guys, so that is it for this cauliflower option of the recipe. Again, the cauliflower option was my personal fave. I just garnished this with a little bit of parsley. I can eat this by itself, but if you guys like, you can also serve this over rice. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Enjoy.